now I'm in the shipping bin. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no. How do I get out? I may have to restart the game. UnderMire. This is a game that's listed as a hand-drawn roguelite, with two unique features, a fear gauge and a combining mechanic known as smushing. It involves you climbing down into a bunker in what is described as a twisting, changing, living labyrinth that contorts, adapts, and fights back, all while you, the player, are being hunted. Unfortunately, it all sounds a little more grandiose than it actually is, but I mean, roguelite, hand-drawn, cat, what more do you need? How could I not at least attempt this demo? It looks like a gorgeously good time. Unfortunately, it all felt like a rather hollow experience with half-baked mechanics. The game needs more time in the oven, no pun intended, but its bones are great, and honestly, it just might not be a game meant for my age bracket, but since it isn't labeled as baby's first roguelite, I decided to give it a shot, and my experience is mixed at best. But hey, maybe you'll find something here that I didn't. Let's find out. The game starts off good, for the most part. Graphics look great and characters seem interesting. There's no explanation on just who the hell these characters are, but still. The tutorial is completely optional, which is a great start. Games should do this by default. The tutorial is also interactive and introduces you to different aspects of the game one by one instead of text dumping you everything all at once. And it's narrated to you by your mysterious cat companion, McLean, which also gives you a hint into his personality and the vibes to expect within the full game itself. These are great. However, I did run into issues within the first 5 minutes of the game. What do I do? Can I, like, glitch into a wall maybe and... Oh! Nice. Speedrunning hack. This is the only time I got stuck on, or in, something though, so the game seems to be fairly polished in that sense. The tutorial is good at explaining the basics, but the more nitty-gritty stuff is not only ignored in the tutorial, but just downright not ever explained. For example, I didn't understand that I could bank multiple coins until I actually watched through my recording and noticed the symbols myself. This is never explained in-game, and it's far from obvious too. Not that the demo needs to explain every little detail, but knowing I could bank coins could have made the combat a little less tedious as I went along. And while I did just praise the fact of no info dumping, the tool contains an anti-fear spell, okay? Keyword alleviating, the tool contains a healing spell. Keyword burst all, the spells you stack with the Hocus Focus explode all at once when you snap the slate. That reads like gibberish to me. Keyword provoking, the tool contains multiple attack spells. Safeguarded, tool operates predictably and will never backfire. Singular or one-sided, tool only contains one spell. Yeah, I'm not gonna remember all of that. Sorry. Thankfully, it's not that much of an issue, to be honest. Weapons, which are called tools in this game, will tell you what spells they have available on their tooltip. You don't really need to worry about too much else besides that, at least in the demo. So overall, the information given was well done and useful, with tooltips explaining the important stuff when you need it. We're off to a pretty good start. Now, I want to get into the story just a little bit. I mean, it seems interesting at first. You're a child lost in a magical bunker with a sassy talking cat. Why are you there? What are you trying to accomplish? Don't worry, you'll never find out. There are notes and recordings to read throughout the levels, but honestly, they didn't help much. A lot of different names are thrown at you, and you don't know who any of them are. Only McLean has any relevance to the plot at the moment, and we don't even know who he is either, besides a magical talking cat that other people have also stumbled across in their journey through this supposed bunker. Besides McLean, Zach is the only other character that I started to get a bit of an understanding for, but that's because his backstory is pretty basic. Locked in the bunker and trying to find his way out while leaving journal entries behind. Typical fare. I have no idea who any of the other people are though, even the main characters. But it's a demo. I don't think an immersive, story-driven romp was their main focus of this, but it did make the notes feel pointless to read. They aren't interesting, and they don't get me thinking. I eventually just stopped reading them. There wasn't really a point to it. Like, maybe give me 3 or 4 names to really kind of sink my brain into, to kind of put them all together and think, oh, this person might be this person, or they're doing this or that. But this many names that are thrown at me, some of them seemingly to have no real purpose to the story, this is too much. Other than that, the only real story you've got to go off of is the checklist that the cat wants you to do. None of it really has a lore reason behind it, and I get it. Not all games need to have a deep story to be interesting. However, if you're going to throw some lore documents at us, it makes me assume that you do, in fact, want to have a story. But the attempt is half-baked. The notes talk about a lot of different things that we have no context for, and the demands of the cat range from find the keycard and get the fuck out to I want catnip. Maybe McLean is actually the evil entity that is trapping everyone in this magical bunker, and that's why we're at his whim and mercy? Can't think of why else we're doing whatever the hell he wants us to do while he seems to control the exits. If that's the case, then I suppose maybe the random checklists do have some lore purpose to them. We won't know until the full game, which currently has no release window. But you can always wishlist. Alright, so what is the actual gameplay like? Well, you explore rooms and fight monsters. That's about it. You have health at the top left of the screen, and below that is your fear meter. Fear goes up in the dark and when certain enemies look at you, or certain attacks hit. What does fear do? I don't know. It does make you drop items sometimes. That's all I noticed in my playthrough, though. You can drink various types of soda to reduce your fear level, and boy howdy do you get a lot of sodas. Plus, you can get an ability that reduces your fear levels too. So this wasn't really a mechanic that I had to care all that much about. Fear doesn't seem to go up all that quickly, so I'm not really all that concerned about using my glow sticks. And I also have like 4 cans to heal it, so... You also have coins you can collect, although I found them to be virtually useless in the demo. Buy items from a vending machine. But why would you want to? The level has already given you about 20 of anything you could possibly need, or mainly not need, but I'll get into that in a minute. You can also collect smush gel, which is used to combine items together. But considering how cumbersome the item system is, I never bothered with this mechanic outside of the tutorial, and it was never needed either. And you know what? That's a perfect segue to talk about a gripe I do have with this game. The inventory management. Lordy lordy. Open the items menu to check out your stuff. You can eat food in your hands or in the menu. Items menu to check out my stuff. So I can just like switch out to whatever's in my hand? Right button. Okay. That seems, I mean, unless I just aren't used to the controls on Xbox, but that seems a little bit difficult to do on the fly. Can I just like switch tools? Oh, no, okay, I ate it. I was trying to put it in my inventory. Which, that's gotta be, oh. No, well, that still didn't really help exactly when I want to equip nothing. Oh, can I just press up to equip nothing? Oh, I can. Alright. That works. So, you press down on your gamepad to bring up your inventory. Then, you press left or right to switch through your items, and use the right button or the left button to equip them to either hand. You can favorite items, but then you need to press down to scroll through the categories until you get to the favorites category to find what you need. It's all so unnecessary. It's already cumbersome as hell to find one item in the heat of battle. Good luck finding 2 items to smush together while fighting 2. And scrolling your inventory doesn't pause the game either. You'll be racking up fear in a dark room or while enemies stare you down as you try to find whatever the hell it is that you're looking for. Not that fear is something to really be that concerned about, but in later levels it might be. And why is it hard to find items in your stash, you might ask? Well, what another perfect segue into items in general. That's a lot of glow sticks, Jesus. Oh, so many glow sticks, my goodness. Open. Oh my god, more glow sticks. I don't even really care about opening all of these chests anymore. Like, how many fucking glow sticks do I have? Jesus, there's so many items that I just do not need. In short, there are just too much. I never had to worry about game mechanics because I had a million of every type of item in my inventory, and items I had no use for on top of that. What are all those stones for? Who knows? Isn't it fun trying to pick them up off the floor, though? Come on. Come on, pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Pick it up. Well, at least I killed him pretty quickly, too, so that's good. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Am I just not gonna get you? There we go. Anyway, item management is a chore, and you get so many damn items while playing that you don't really need to worry about them anyway. You might as well have an infinite supply. And since it's easier to just normally attack than to try and fight with your items, smushing becomes moot as well. So that's now 3 mechanics that you do not need to worry about at all. Fear, items, and smushing. Considering that 2 of those 3 are supposed to be unique, defining features of this game, that's not a good look. But hey, combat looked pretty interesting. Maybe that's where this game is going to shine. Well, behold, combat. Yeah, I can't say I'm terribly fond of this combat system here. Like, it sounds fun on paper, but it's kind of... I don't even want to say annoying, like tedious, I guess. It's not that exciting, and there's very little pomp and circumstance to it. Attacks look pretty bare bones, and there isn't much in ways of indicators to tell that you've actually hit the target. Yeah, I'm gonna be really good at this game, clearly. What? Is it? Yeah, I think I hit him, yeah. Am I actually hitting this guy? Yeah, I did, okay. There's no real danger. Attacks are easy to avoid, and while enemies also raise your fear level, the fear mechanic might as well not exist as far as I'm concerned. It's far too negligible to care about, and chances are you've got about 30 sodas you can plow through if you need to anyway. So you're just ho-humming your way through the level. Are the levels at least visually interesting or stimulating in some way? Also no. I get that this is supposed to be a bunker, and although I don't get bunker vibes at all, those aren't exactly known for being glamorous, exciting places. I get it. But it's also magical and ever-changing, like the backrooms, with many people getting lost in its labyrinthine corridors, like the backrooms. So you would think that there would be some cool lore tidbits interspersed in the crazy environments, or weird sights to see. Well, no. It's just big empty rooms, unless you count stacks of pallets, crates, and gasoline containers or something. And they all lead to a generator and an elevator exit. Sometimes the rooms are all wacky, crazy, upside-down shenanigans, but there's no rhyme or reason to it. They just are. It's all a bit surface level, in my opinion, but hey, at least it's not just cookie cutter. And what happens when you finally reach the exit? You get sent to a rumpus room, where you can buy items, again, why would you want to, loot containers, sometimes read more lore documents, and solve puzzles that lead to, you guessed it, more items that you clearly oh so desperately need. Well, sometimes they lead to character upgrades. There are lunchboxes, I think, scattered around levels and can be found through secrets in the rumpus room. These can upgrade your attack or defense while also giving you another heart container. These I liked, and I had no problem with. And I appreciate that some of them are tied behind solving puzzles or being thorough in your exploration. No qualms there. But honestly, that's about it for the gameplay loop. Nothing here is challenging you, and there's very little to make you want to scavenge, to want to kill enemies, to want to read documents lying around. Hell, to even want to finish the level. I lost interest after the second level, honestly, but as I mentioned, this game just might not be aimed towards experienced gamers. I feel like my gripes can be easily overlooked by a younger crowd or those just beginning to dip their toes into gaming. Someone who might need that helping hand more so than offering a challenge. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I love games that are not only well polished, but are also primed to get people into the joys of gaming. We need more Super Mario RPGs. And who knows, maybe UnderMire, once fully released, will live up to that same kind of hype. A fun, beautiful game that gets more people interested in what gaming has to offer. As a, sadly, fully fledged adult picking up this demo, I don't really recommend it if you're looking for something to actually challenge you, but if you're just looking to kill some time or not think too hard, then it could be worth a try. The graphics are beautiful, the characters seem really fun, just not sure that inventory system is going to keep people around for too long. But I suppose there is fun to be had, and I think I'm going to include a few good moments I had here so as to end on a bit of a positive note. No need to watch if you're not interested, and as always, have a wonderful day. This is so effing cute. I love that. I'm just playing with a little star. I think it's a star. You're limited to moving, jumping, and interacting with movable items in the world like crates and barrels. Why am I reading this? I'm playing the single player. It doesn't matter. Look at me. I'm so smart. Let me grab some glow stickies. It literally is called the glow sticky. I was just being stupid, but okay. This is like some fucking backrooms shit. What?